26 innocent Hindu tourists and one brave Kashmiri killed in Pahalgam. But this isn't the first time it's happening. Over the last 30 years, there have only been 4 years when not a single terrorist attack happened in Kashmir: 1996, 1997, 2011, and 2012. In 2024 alone, there were 3 such incidents. Riyasi attack on the 9th of June on a bus filled with Hindu pilgrims. 9 lost their lives. Attack on an army convoy in Katua on 9th of July. 5 lost their lives. And grenade attack in Lal Chowk, Srinagar on 4th of November. 12 were badly injured. There is a problem in Kashmir. And I'm not just saying this on the basis of all that's been going around in the media. I visited Kashmir just 1 month before this attack. And I'm going to be speaking about it very honestly and very frankly because I observed 3 things. Firstly, Kashmir and Kashmiris are one of the most hospitable people that I've ever come across. Hospitality wise, without a doubt, this trip was a 10 on 10. The people were just very warm and friendly. The second thing is that Kashmir is growing. Ever since the abrogation of Article 370, Kashmir's GSDP, which is Gross State Domestic Product, has gone from 1 lakh crores to nearly 2.5 lakh crores, which means it has more than doubled in the last 5-6 years. Now the third point is very concerning. During the trip, we visited an offbeat place as well, and I'm going to not name it for security reasons, but this was the only time in the entire duration of the trip when I actually felt unsafe. And it is for a totally unrelated reason, by the way. While we were going there, we were stopped by a bunch of CRPF officers and we were asked about our identity. When we revealed it, they basically said that there were militants who had run away in the region and they were in search of these militants. We already were a little scared, but we kept on going and finally we reached our hotel just 10-15 minutes later. When we reached there, we got to know that this place had no Wi-Fi and there was absolutely no network there. No network from Jio, no network from Airtel, and absolutely no network from VI, which is Vodafone Idea, by the way. To top it all off, we could not see anybody near us other than the hotel staff. There was absolutely nobody in the vicinity. We were just surrounded by mountains and we were virtually in a forest. All of this just meant that we all were really scared as fuck. But thankfully, in the evening, we were introduced to our hotel manager, who, by the way, just like everyone else, was very hospitable, and we ended up getting into a very long conversation. We talked about a whole host of things, including politics, and this is when he told us about something very profound. He admitted that in the region, a lot of militant organizations were very active, and there were agents actively searching for boys in the age group of 10 to 15 so that they could brainwash them and enroll them into their militant organizations, basically convert them into terrorists. Now, terrorism doesn't grow by itself. It is manufactured. It is manufactured by brainwashing people. These brainwashers manipulate people and kids by creating a sense of duality, basically making the world seem as a place of us versus them. Us, the Kashmiris, the oppressed, versus them, the Indians, the oppressors. Us, the Muslims, versus them, the Kafirs. Now, in general, it is not very difficult to brainwash people, but it becomes exceptionally easy at the time when the people are already in distress. Now, a lot of these boys are not really from well-to-do families, they're not very well educated, and they're not really rich. So, to brainwash them is even easier. They have been radicalized on 2 fronts. Firstly, to hate and fight the Kafirs, the non-believers, the non-Muslims, and secondly, for Azad Kashmir, the Azadi of Kashmir. But why is this demand for Azadi so strong? Well, to understand this, we'll have to go back in time to 1947 at the time of partition of India and Pakistan. Back then, Bharat was largely divided into provinces, and the regions that basically had a Muslim majority had a Muslim king, whereas the regions that had a Hindu majority had a Hindu king. So most of the regions with a Muslim king became a part of Pakistan, whereas most of the regions with a Hindu king became a part of India. However, Kashmir was unique in this sense because Kashmir had a majority Muslim population, but it had a Hindu king, Hari Singh. Now, Hari Singh did not want Jammu and Kashmir to become a part of either of the 2 countries, and hence it was an independent state. Yes, Kashmir initially was an independent country. However, just a few days after partition, Pakistan attacked Kashmir, and this is when Hari Singh came to India and asked them to support Kashmir, and in return, Kashmir would become a part of India. And as a result of this, India and Pakistan had their first war starting 20th October 1947 till 1st January 1949. India obviously won, and Kashmir became a part of India. But ever since then, there has been a lot of effort by our neighbors to destabilize Kashmir. of all the events, how can we forget about the Kashmiri Pandit genocide of 1990? Lakhs of Kashmiri Pandits were forced to leave Kashmir and thousands were killed. Now coming back to the brainwashing. This brainwashing isn't accidental or random. It is very well thought through. It is very well planned. It is funded, supported and rewarded from both across the border and within. Now in general, these militants, terrorists and brainwashers hate a vibrant and well-to-do Kashmir. Why? Because it is very difficult for you to brainwash people when they are already doing good. How will you convince them that they are being oppressed when they are all very satisfied with their lives? And that is exactly what had started to happen with Kashmir, with all of this tourism and all of this growth that they were seeing in their economy. Which is precisely why the attack this time was on the very fabric of this growth, the tourism sector. Because a well-to-do and growing Kashmir is bad for their business of brainwashing people and getting them to join these militants. And do you know what is the most tragic part? The victims are not just minorities like Hindus and Sikhs in the region. The real victims and the biggest victims are Kashmiri people. Ordinary Kashmiri people who just want to live their lives normally. Those who want to live peacefully, send their children to school and grow their businesses. Because of these militants, they are stuck in a cycle of fear, poverty and endless bloodshed. Just like the brave Kashmiri, Sayyid Adil Hussain. I really hope you found some value in this video. Thank you so much for watching and Jai Hind.